Look, a bit of shimmer. We recently saw the Spice Girls reunite for Victoria Beckham's 50th birthday. Wasn't that great to see? You wrote a piece about how this reminds you of a time when it was important to be young and feeling alive, and that was really when you were having the most fun in the world, rather than being in an age that we appear to be in now that seems to be focused around curating perfect Instagram posts. Can you talk to us about what you mean by that?
Yeah, thanks for asking about this. I'm really enchanted that you want to talk about this, because I think the distinction, I think about when was in my 20s and I'm in my 50s now, is that life was about how it felt. It wasn't about how it looked. I remember having those feelings in my 20s that anything was possible, and the Spice Girls represented that. They represented difference. You could have thick thighs, you could have an afro, you could have red hair, you could be a bit gobby and gutsy, and people loved you for that difference. And now, and you'll be fully aware of this, the clean girl aesthetic, where everybody looks the same. They have their glossy skin and they're centre part and all wearing the same clothes. And I don't know if that's healthy for us. I have two daughters who are, early 20s, and I just look at their lives and I think there's not the freedom, there's not the expression, there's not the celebration of their quirks and differences. It's almost like social media has sort of shot through and kind of homogenised everybody, and you all have to look and sound the same. And to me, seeing Victoria Beckham, and look, she's a dynamo. She's the real legacy of the Spice Girls. And I love the Beckham documentary, but I love all those women. I love that they're still alive in an industry which is overrepresented in the early death statistics, but also that these women have struggled and they lived their lives. But they, to me, represented a moment in time when I felt that the world was at my feet and I could be anything that I want, and I'm not seeing that in young girls now. Yeah, no, it's beautiful. And look, I love the Spice Girls. I was young growing up with them, and I think you're right. You also wrote about how they were all different, but there isn't the focus on being diverse. That wasn't the intention, but they all had their individuality. And, I tend to agree with you. I'm probably guilty of it as well, of getting caught up in the Instagram pictures, and everyone seems to get the same pictures as well. They all go to the same spots, and it's a bit boring. But I have to say, I've noticed that then people are now turning away from getting the perfect images. I think we've had 10 years of Instagram, and now people are starting to post really what's real and what they are experiencing. That's so true. And have you posted a picture of you without your makeup looking really? Okay. No, I'm not doing that. So I did this recently. I went camping. I had no makeup on. My hair hadn't been washed for 3 days. But and there was the ocean behind me, and I looked at the picture and I just thought, this is me. And I actually posted it. I got the most likes I've ever got. And I think that's because, and I was asking my daughters, why have I got so many likes on this one? And they just said, because it's real. It's real. Because it's real. It's just, and you look happy, mum. Yeah. And, like looking happy, being happy, that's really, that's the currency, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. And it goes back to what you were saying originally about the Spice Girls. Look, I also did a bit of digging and found an article that you wrote last year that I love. The headline is, I've arrived at an age where I don't care what others think of me. Look, I'm getting there. And you say, everywhere I look, women of my vintage are unapologetically giving 0 Fs. And you make this reference to a tweet from J.K. Rowling, woman I love, who called out the decision in Scotland to house transgender people in females' jails. Now, J.K. Rowling wrote, deeply amused by those telling me I've lost their admiration due to the disrespect I show in violent, duplicitous, I can't say that word, rapists. I shall file your lost admiration in the box where I keep my missing Fs. Look, why are we seeing more women get to the point of 0 Fs as you so correctly write about? I think the 0 Fs, I don't actually really like the phrase, but it's a concept about not caring. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's maturity or, proximity to mortality or I don't know what it is. But I suddenly went through menopause and went, I actually don't care anymore. I had this boss when I first started my career, and I start the piece by talking about him, and he really impacted my career. He didn't like me. I got a written warning because of him, and I'm your head girl type. I'm not the sort that gets written warnings. Yeah. And he's impacted my career for more than a decade, and it just sort of seeded there. And then a friend told me she'd been working with him in London, and I just suddenly thought about his name, and I thought, I don't care about him anymore. That's his story. That's not my story. I was perfectly good at my job. It was whatever he had against me that was the issue. And I started to notice when I didn't care about things. And I wonder if I reappropriate ZFs to mean actually recognising what you can control in life, controlling that, and anything you can't control, not reacting to it. That's not your business. What comes at you, how you manage it, yeah, great. Do your best with that. But what's that all over there, that's outside your remit, so don't worry about it. I've also been reading a great book on the Stoics by Bridget Delaney, which is called Reasons Not to Worry, and it digests all that thinking about, life actually happens to you. Just live it big, live it with energy, be kind, be good, or as Nicole Kidman was saying last weekend and Keith Urban was saying, choose love. Choose love. What a motto for life. I love that. Just think the best of people and choose love.
It's good to be reminded of that. I was having a conversation that was quite similar to this recently, and I was reminded that what ifs aren't real. You can worry all you like. What ifs aren't real.
I love that. What ifs aren't real. Oh, that is so true.
Well, I love 0 Fs. I'm going to adopt it. Angela Mollard, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.